Talking to the moon, trying to get to you. Talking to the moon.
It's all about moving on.
Trying to get to you.
Things really don't stop. Not even when we think they stop. I had no idea. Of course, you can't have any idea. It's better being kept the unknown. God, not that I know anymore now. In fact, the only difference is I really clearly see how much I don't know. There is so much. But all of it just keeps moving. Sure, things end, but then new things began. That never stops. But it doesn't even bother me that it never stops. I think that would bother me before, but not now. Now I'm a part of the moving on. Welcome back.
Thanks. I just shouldn't give myself that. I've got two bosses. I'm glad I've got two bosses because I'm a lot less on the hook with one person. And if everything goes wrong, I can leave one. But I am not used to running between the two of them and prioritizing.
I can tell it looks like it's taking its toll.
We seem so. I visited your workroom. I couldn't believe it. It's like a monastery. I don't know how you do any work. There's so much work seems to go into organization. That
You think it's organized?
Yeah.
Mm.
It's calm. You're calm. You give off an unruffledness.
I know, I get that a lot, but if you could see inside, it's like an amusement park with every ride running at the same time, and all the lights and sounds and sorry. See, people want me. That was a phone call.
Sounded like a merry-go-round.
Did it really? Did you hear it this time? Because people don't often hear it. I thought maybe Zoom would cut it out, but
Yeah, it sounds mad.
well,
who chooses that? Who chooses that ringtone or whatever it is?
Well, It was two ringtones, one on my computer and one on my phone, and they signify the person. Didn't you ever do that? Give a person a ringtone?
Oh, yes. The one annoying person who I didn't want to pick the phone up from, who you might guess.
One of your bosses? No, another person.
I don't want to be mean about Julie, but there's a lot of times I would want to not be available.
Go ahead, be mean. I want to see you mean.
Oh. I'm not proud of how petty she made me. That's not right. I don't know. I can't blame her for becoming someone I don't like. That's my responsibility. But the person I became, who I don't like, was someone who was quite happy to lie and cheat to just get some peace and a hideaway and half a day off from arguing and bickering and splitting hairs about how to do things.
Well, don't you think we are who we are in the context, in some kind of context? Like we're not in a vacuum, and we act differently in different groups. Like you don't act this way when you're at the grocery store, or maybe at work, but you're this way. You're one way with me. You're one way with, and not totally different personalities. I'm not talking about craziness. I'm just saying that maybe relationships are defined in a context, not necessarily just by a single individual. I don't know. Does that make sense?
It does. I'm in two minds as to whether to raise this, but what it makes me think of was the only time I've seen you misbehave uncharacteristically with Dad's friend.
Yeah.
So I can't remember what the occasion was. Everyone was around the house. You were there. And this guy, Harry Jackson, Dad's friend,
Yeah.
you didn't like.
Yeah.
You have his opinions.
Yeah. He brought out the worst in me. You're right. I can't blame him. But you got it. You understand that maybe the way people interact has an influence on the way they behave, and maybe even some degree the kind of person that they are. Considering that maybe we all have the ability to be everybody, it just doesn't. We have our preferences, and it's funny you should remember that. Because I did feel a little embarrassed or ashamed about the way I responded, but also not, because he was the things he thinks are great, I just don't think are so great.
And you had to be somebody else to stick to what you believe in, right? You were truer then by being somebody else, by doing things you wouldn't normally be. You were really, you were a beast. You scared him, which I've never seen you scare anybody. And you were very loud, but
Well, yeah, and I guess I could scare myself too, but
it was what was required.
well, I'm glad you see it that way. And I used to not think that. I used to think there's nothing that would call for that kind of, would require that. But my dad was like that. He embarrassed me, and he would call people out and stand up to them and yell and challenge them. And it always embarrassed me. And I thought I'd never be like that. But then I realized some people deserved it. And I guess my whole point is, there's a little Hitler in all of us or something. I don't know. And what makes it come out? I'm not going to say totally it's another person is responsible for that. No, we're responsible for that. But
it wasn't, Ted, that wasn't a Hitler. That was a Churchill. That was an Eisenhower. That was having to do the difficult thing. That was rising. That was being the monster to get you out.
Yeah. Well, it took a long time to get to that point, because I used to think that there's nothing, and I'm still not 100% sure that the monster is justified.
Talking to the moon, trying to get to you.
Sorry, I haven't been in touch for a while.
I was wondering. Because I know I haven't had someone. I've had one, my mum passing away, but that was so, there was so much mourning there. But it feels like it's been non-stop for you.
Right. And I couldn't make it to Julie's funeral. I'm sorry. I didn't even write you. I didn't really have a conversation with you.
I know. There's a few people everyone's got their own way. Who am I to say how people need to deal with their own relationship with her?
Yeah, but I didn't want to be one of those people that just drops out of your life after what happened. Because I know that happens. It changes things.
It's kind of nice that you were there when she was happy and she wasn't carrying all the worry of it all. You kind of like, you're a professional fair weather friend. You had the 3 good holidays. Well, you were there for part of 3 good holidays. No, you're forever in our in our golden age, Ted.
Well, you're being very forgiving, kind. I mean, I feel like I owe you something. I'll send you some money. No, I was kidding, by the way. No, but
That's all right.
no, I would do. If you need something, I want you to know that.
I was thinking about what was that island called? Goat Island. Goat Island, these lakes above Seattle. I wish you could have been around to come and join us. But I was thinking there was a swimming platform. We had cabins on this lake, and the guy that ran the whole place, he was always distracted. There were lots of things to do, but we just didn't know about any safety. It just seemed like it was all help yourself. There were these iron rowing boats, these really heavy iron rowing boats. And we tried to paddle out to this diving platform out in the middle of the lake. And the two boys are in the middle. They were like 8 and 10. Simon was 8, Lee was 10. And couldn't agree how to get this boat up against the platform. And Julie just said, "Oh, well, I'm getting off." And she stepped on one side of the boat and pressed down to get off onto the platform. And it swung the whole boat round until the boat was for a split second, the boat was at 90 degrees. And then with dread, I could see the boat was just going to go all the way over. And we all went in. I saw the metal edge of the boat come down, and I just went under the water and put my hands up to catch it. And then came up, and there was only Julie above the water. And I was saying, where are the boys? Where are the boys? And then they popped up. We climbed on the platform. I'm getting to the point. The relevance for you in this story.
Okay.
Was do you remember an orange silk scarf that you bought Julie? It was a wedding present, right?
Yeah.
Got me the nice cravat. It was a set.
Okay. I didn't pick it out, but I remember it. I mean, the store clerk said it would be good.
Well, we watched that slide down to the bottom of Lake.
Oh, okay.
I cannot remember what the name.
Well,
Lake Trinity, something like that. I don't know. That just came to me. I just keep thinking about that scarf sliding down into the dark, and Julie, I think, was expecting me to dive after it, but I just got onto the platform.
Well, I'm glad you didn't chase after it. You just had a near-death experience as it was. Didn't need to do anything more. But I don't know. There's something melancholy about that. I mean, watching something kind of slip away. I don't know what it meant to her or what it meant to you. It didn't mean the same thing to me, but
I think wedding presents. Everyone goes that extra distance for a wedding, and you see a generosity. I mean, those are expensive things, right? I appreciate it, and I'm not belittling it. I'm just saying everybody gives nice gifts, don't they? And you have them in those years afterwards. You have them, and you're reminded of the investment that people have made in you. And that was really difficult, seeing it go and knowing it was from you, and knowing that was your hope for us.
well, then why did you chase after it?
I'm launching an expedition in 2025.
Yeah. Yes.
I'm getting some James Cameron money.
You're going to, who is that? Jacques Cousteau. You're going to discover where that scarf went.
We could go there.
To Goat Island.
Yeah. It's about 150 miles north of Seattle.
Yeah. Well, I like Seattle. You're not going to push me under and watch me slip away down the current. You're not answering right away. You're thinking about it.
No, I wouldn't.
You wouldn't. Okay. Well, I promise I won't.
And you're not.
Well, I don't know. Guy, you're getting deep here and serious.
Okay.
Everything goes away eventually. Even us.
Trying to get to you. Talking to the moon. Trying to get to you. Talking to the moon. Trying to get to you. Talking to the moon. Trying to get to you.
This is my new professional service. I watch old timers nap, make sure their cat doesn't kill them.
Well, I don't think you have to worry about that. Because I don't have a cat.
That's
The
right.
cat died.
I'm glad you don't have a cat, because it meant we could get away. A number of times I try and get Dad to come. A dog, the tomatoes. He knew tomatoes needed house sitting. He would never come without having a neighbor absolutely set up without how to do his tomatoes.
Well, they take a lot of care. He grew them, right?
Yeah, you had some. You had the gazpacho
Oh,
that you loved Annie making.
yeah, that was really good.
Yeah, yeah, that's all homegrown.
I do too. Homegrown is so much better than store bought.
Do you get fresh vegetables at the moment?
Well, I'm not too hungry. And I can't really taste things.
But it's good, isn't it? The more fresh food you can have.
Yeah, but I don't know. I'm not too interested in food anymore.
Mhm.
Hey, that trip to Goat Island, that was amazing. I'm so glad you talked me into that.
That hotel would be open now, you know. The one on the far side. The Eagle?
The eagle. So the eagle or the eagle's nest?
I think the Eagle's Nest was the bar.
Ah. Yeah.
I'd go,
What?
I'd go again. If you had the energy.
That's funny you should say that. I was just going to ask you if you think you'll ever go again.
Yeah, I'll go again. But we could go. We could go. I was talking to Angela. She said, well, it's up to you, you know. It's your energy levels. But we could. There would be.
Oh, Brad, I don't think I'm going to be going there again. Oh, come on. You get so serious. Remember your story about the scarf? And you just had to let it go.
Who I still think it's perfectly reasonable to send a terminally ill man to the bottom of a lake to retrieve his own wedding gift.
If I would, I could. If I could, I would.
I've still got the tie.
What?
I've still got the tie, the cravat.
Hmm. You know, do me a favor. After all this is done, I would like you to take me to the lake and maybe have a few at the crow's nest, but then just go out on the lake and let me go.
Talking to the moon, trying to get to you. Talking to the moon, trying to get to you.
I showed Simon and Lee the photos. And everybody had a different idea about what happened. Simon said he was on the platform. Lee said he got off before Julie. And Julie thinks she lost that scarf. I described it over and over. She thinks she lost it on another holiday. But I'm the only one there to throw Ted away. So there's only one version of that. Well, mine and Ted's.